So it'll be a good opportunity to rejig things, do a bit of a huge declutter. It's quite strange seeing the room like this. It is absolute carnage in there. This all feels so much bigger. Say goodbye to the carpet, Pumpkin. I think you can tell something's going on. Hello everybody, hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. I'm back with a renovation vlog for you today. You might notice it's a little bit echoey in here. I will be explaining why as we go through the video, but I've got lots of things going on, so I thought I would document them in a bit of a video diary style. If you've got similar projects in your home that you're thinking about tackling, hopefully this will be informative for you and I can share any mistakes that I make along the way to help you avoid them. So I'm going to be updating the flooring. I'm also going to be doing some work on the kitchen. The kitchen ceiling needs fixing. The leak returned from the roof garden, so that all needs sorting, and I've got big plans for the kitchen. I want to replace the worktops in there. I want to remove some of the cupboards and give it a bit of a refresh. I will be continuing these vlogs, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of my updates. And then once all the kind of big works, the big renovations are done, I will be doing some more makeover videos, which will be coming to you very soon. Okay, let's rewind to a couple of weeks ago, starting with the flooring. So I have the flooring here. If you missed my last little update, the plan is to get some laminate flooring put in the living room here, in the downstairs office, and also in the hallway through there, all on this level. So today is the day that work is going to begin. So I thought I would just give you a quick overview of how it's looking before the work starts, and also just show you the laminate that I've gone for. From UK Flooring Direct, and it's called Series Woods Professional 12mm laminate flooring in the colour Smoked Oak. And I feel like what you're seeing on screen is a pretty accurate representation of the tone and the colour of this. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this one. I've actually got two samples here. Now the flooring hasn't arrived yet. It's due to arrive tomorrow, and when I booked in the carpenter to do the flooring, he said to me, I thought he'd just start after the flooring had arrived, but he said it makes more sense for him to start the day before the flooring arrives so that he can make a start on prepping the floors before the flooring gets here. So he's going to be taking the carpet up in the hallway. I've got like a engineered wood floor that needs to come up, and then there's laminate in the office. So all of that will need to come up today, and he's going to go around, check for any squeaky floorboards, make sure that those are screwed in nice and tightly, make sure everything's nice and level, ready for the flooring to go down. So fingers crossed the delivery will be okay tomorrow, but who knows. But yeah, he's coming today to make a start. So yeah, pretty much all of the furniture and everything from these rooms has gone either into the kitchen or upstairs, which was quite a mission. I've still got the dining table and the sofa in here. He said he can work around those, just moving them to one side of the room, and there's still a few bits I need to sort out. The kittens water bowls and food are kind of scattered around the place where I've moved them out of the kitchen. Those will be going up to the loft room along with the kittens, so they're safely out of the way while any work is being done. But yeah, let me show you how it's looking now. It's quite strange seeing the room like this, but yeah, all the rugs have come up. There's usually like rugs down and the TV's normally here. This is a marble hearth that I found and I just sort of had on the carpets. That's why the fireplace is slightly higher, because this was underneath it. But I've pulled that out, and he's going to install the flooring all the way in and then reinstall this on top of the flooring. So there's always the option to not have that in the future and just have the flooring going straight into the fireplace there, because the fireplace isn't in action. I do have a electric fire that goes into there. Everywhere is rather dusty. It's amazing what you find when you move your sofa or move furniture. But there we go. In the corner here, there's usually my little side table. That's all upstairs. I've left the sofa, as I say, it's still got plastic on it. Kept the plastic on that bottom section there just because of kittens scratching it, but that can probably come off soon. I think they have completely stopped scratching the sofa. And looking back over this way, you can see, yeah, the carpet. So this is all coming up. Good morning, Mittens. How are you this morning? So Mittens, yeah, will be going up to the loft with Pumpkin. Won't you? You're going to be a good girl. It's going to be a bit noisy down here. And here you can see we've pulled the wood up where it joined the carpet to the engineered wood floor, just to check the levels. But yeah, you can see it's all one level underneath. It's just been boarded over, and then there's underlay in there. Yeah, all of this in the hallway is coming up, and the laminate in the office room is all coming up as well. Yeah, everything is out of here apart from the bed and the desk. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. You can see the skirting board here where I hacked a bit off it to install a cabinet. I mean, that makeover was years and years and years ago. Actually, I've done it a couple of times, so maybe there's one slightly more recently. But yeah, I'm thinking once the flooring's down, it's a really good opportunity as well to kind of reassess all the spaces, because I'll be seeing them almost, you know, like when you first move in, because it will just be with the brand new floor and very minimal furniture in them. So it'll be a good opportunity to rejig things, do a bit of a huge declutter, and yeah, I'm really excited. And just to give you a glimpse into the kitchen, it is absolute carnage in there as well. The two cabinets from the office are propped up in here, the TV's come in here, there's all old paint and various bits of DIY stuff that needs to be used up. So yeah, it's kind of tricky at the moment. So yeah, it all feels quite hectic at the moment. I've also got a really busy week. I'm doing the radio this week. I've got the broadcast awards. I know that calm will be restored once all this is done. So yes, let's trust the process. I know lots of you have said that you have the laminate flooring in your homes and you're really happy with it. One of you even said that you're installing the exact same colour in your living room. So I'm really excited to share with you how this goes and what the process is like, and hopefully it'll be helpful to some of you if you're thinking about doing a similar thing in your place. Hello, Pumpkin. It all looks different, doesn't it? Does it all look a bit different? Yeah. Does all look a bit different, doesn't it? I said this in the previous vlog, but the carpet in here is from Carpetright. It's over 10 years old. It's the colour Monaco, I think, if I remember correctly. And yeah, it's kind of like a beigey, very pale browny colour, almost like an oatmeal-y colour, I guess, but it's not coming up that well on camera. It's hard to show you. But yeah, all the pile had just gone very flat. It was really hard wearing though. So yeah, I mean, I kind of do rate it. Say goodbye to the carpet, Pumpkin. Because that is not going to be here for much longer. You're in a funny mood this morning, aren't you? I think you can tell something's going on. And Mittens loves to chill here on the table and look out the window, don't you? Oh. Right, let's get these two upstairs. Well, it's a few hours later. These two have been really good. We've just been snuggled up here in the loft. I put some relaxing cat music on while all the drilling was going on. And yeah, I've just been cracking on with some work up here. But yeah, work downstairs is done for today. So let me take you and show you around. So as you can see, as we go down the stairs, we are down to the original floorboards now. So I'll take you through into the living room, first of all. It's very dusty in here. It actually set the smoke alarms off, the amount of dust that came up. The sofa is in the middle of the room, all covered up. But yeah, this is how it's looking. So here, where the original hearth was, so that was uncovered, it was a bit raised. So we've had to take the hammer drill to this and smash all that up, and then he's going to lay some new cement just to level that off so that it's not going up, because otherwise it would make it difficult for these boards to lay flat. So yeah, this is what was causing the dust. That's all loose now, and that will all get leveled off, and then boards are going to go back onto this, just like a 5mm ply board, just to even out all the floorboards. Any bumpy ones, some of them are a little bit loose, will be screwed down nice and securely beforehand, and then it will all be leveled off with board before the laminate goes on. As you can see over here, we have a bit of damage. One's literally bouncing, so yeah, I think he's going to need to do a bit of a repair job here, maybe put in a bit of MDF or something to replace that. Oh, and then all of the skirting boards had a little ridge on them here, and that's come off so that we can have a nice clean line and a new trim put on. And then as we go through, yeah, it's all a bit of a mess here. You can see where the boards were cut. I think this was to do with pipe work. Into here we have the same situation here. So this was all a bit raised, so again, hammer drill, very noisy, but that is all loose rubble now, and that will all get leveled off so that in here can be nice and flat. And I'm going to take the new laminate right the way under the bookcase here. I've covered all the books with some dust sheet, but yeah, it'll go all the way under there. Yeah, hopefully look really good. It does feel really nice already, just seeing how it flows through. And I think when this is all the same floor, it is going to make the space just feel so much bigger by having this kind of flow going all the way through. So yeah, that is the end of day one. Tomorrow, the flooring is due to arrive, so I'm hoping that comes nice and early because I've got to go into town tomorrow. I'm on the radio tomorrow, so I've got to go into town to the radio studio. I'm doing BBC Radio Wales to do the advice hour, giving lots of tips and tricks for the home on there. So yeah, fingers crossed it arrives in the morning so that I can be here to get the delivery and all of that. And then the plan for tomorrow is going to be laying some cement and then levelling off all the boards, making sure they're all nice and secure, not squeaking, and then putting the fresh boards on top, just the 5mm ply. There was some ply already down in the living room, but it was 3mm. And I just thought rather than getting more 3mm to patch it up, I'd rather put a bit of a thicker one down and just do it all fresh. So that all came up, and all the carpet that's been pulled up, the underlay, the little grips with the nails in for the carpet, the boards from in here, the laminate and the wooden boards from the hallway have all been taken off to the recycling centre. So yeah, all of that has gone, which I'm very pleased about. I'm glad that's not hanging around in here. I'm going to get the Henry Hoover and whip it around quickly just so that I can at least make sure that the hallway is dust free, and I'll shut these two rooms off and then let Pumpkin and Mittens back out so they can wander around again, because I think they're getting a little bit stir crazy in the loft. Yeah, I'll get the Hoover out first just to make sure that the hallway is dust free, and yeah, I will update you tomorrow. Some outdoor rugs down just to protect, well, Pumpkin and Mittens from the floor in case it's dusty. And these two are just obsessed with trying to get into the living room. They have been sniffing under the door. Pumpkin's been trying to get the handle open. They're just very curious. They want to know what's going on. I have given them a quick look in there just to kind of alleviate their curiosity, but you just want to go back in, don't you? But you can't, because I don't want your paws going into the cement on the floor. Okay, it's a little later. It's dark outside now and the cement is down, so that's going to be drying overnight. And the same in here, so that has been all prepped nice and smooth and nice and level. It is day 2. As you can hear by the drilling, lots of work is going on downstairs. I'm just off into town now to do the radio this afternoon, so when I get back I will update you with how things are looking. It is evening time. I'm back from central London. The radio was great. Then I went and filmed a little look around Primark, so that's a separate video that will be, I think it'll be live on my channel. If not, it's coming soon. I have just got back and I thought I would show you around, show you how everything is looking. Lots has been done today. So the flooring has arrived and the underlay. Loads of flooring, isn't it? And I've got 2 rolls of underlay. I measured everything within an inch of its life, and this is just enough, hopefully, to do everywhere. Otherwise, it would have been spending an additional £75 for one more roll, which for the sake of what could be millimetres, I really didn't want to do, so we're going to make this work. Then, yeah, plenty of flooring. I did the 10% excess as required after measuring everywhere, and yeah, the boards are all down. So this is a 6mm in the end we went for. So it's nice and thick. You can see the offcuts here, and everywhere is feeling, yeah, nice and strong. But yeah, let's take you through. So as you can see, it's all flowing through now, and in this tube here is the edging strips, the beading that goes around the edge. Actually just taken one out to have a little look, and that all looks good. And around the skirting there's a little bit of the original kind of wood underneath, so I just need to quickly patch that up with a bit of a quick sand and some undercoat. As you can see, it's all down in here as well, with the desk in the middle here. I'm really pleased they've been able to work around the desk. Yeah, that is very heavy, and yeah, it's incredible seeing it like this. It's all feeling rather nice and solid, nothing moving. Then it will have the underlay on, of course. And then tomorrow the boards will start going down. Now we're going to go in this direction, so with the boards lengthways in the hallway, taking this line as the first line, so it will go straight the way through, and that will actually line up. We've kind of measured it, so it will line up straight to this wall. So everything's at a bit of an angle, with this being a terraced property. Also mean that they can run this way in the office room as well and continue. They will be slightly off here around the hearth, so there will be a slight diagonal line there, which I was thinking this is the focal point. However, if you went with it off here and then went from there, then everything here would be off. The hallway would be off, everything else would be off, and the other room would be off. So that's what we're going with. And also, I usually have a rug in front of the hearth, and so I think that would disguise. The alternative was to have all the boards running lengthways, but then you wouldn't have so much flow going through here. You wouldn't have those lovely long lines. They would be getting very short here, and you'd have very short boards along the hallway. But people can do that, you know, you could do that. It's an option if you prefer it, and it's much more of a kind of, almost like a, is it like a galley style almost? But the original floorboards are all going that way. So it's also a good thing to lie your laminate in the opposite direction just for a bit of extra stability there. So that is where we are. Apologies that the lighting is terrible, but it is dark outside. So yeah, that is where we are today, and I will see you tomorrow with another update. It is the next day. Excuse my appearance. I have just fake tanned because I'm off to the Broadcast Awards this evening. But yeah, I just thought I would give you an update. We're halfway through the day today, and Mittens has popped down to inspect the works, and so has Pumpkin. And as you can see, the first boards are now down. We're halfway through the day, and this is to get the first line. These two have been really good up in the loft. I'm just letting them pop down to settle their curiosity before works start again. And as you can see, the boards continue into the living room, and work has started in here with the gold underlay. I've also been documenting this over on my TikTok. Feel free to give me a little follow over there if you're on TikTok. I'm just kind of documenting a little bit more as I go, little rough and ready updates. But someone commented saying, I hope you've acclimatized the boards, and I didn't really factor this in at all. It wasn't obvious when I bought them, and it's something that I completely overlooked. So that is my mistake. The last night, gone midnight, I was down here placing the boards in their boxes separately so the air can circulate around them. And I double checked, and you're meant to leave them for 48 hours in your property to acclimatise, so that is to prevent any unnecessary expansion or shrinking due to a change in the moisture in the air and also the temperature that the boards are within. So we are kind of at 24 hours at the moment, so only the first few boards have gone down, so the carpenter has reassured me that it should be fine. So yeah, fingers crossed, because we don't want any expansion or shrinkage once the floor is down. And the rest of the boards will continue to acclimatise, and yeah, work has only just begun really, so by the time the bulk of the flooring goes down, we will be within 48 hours. Work's going to continue tomorrow and a bit on Saturday morning, and then it will be completed on Tuesday, so plenty of time for it to all settle. Yeah, I'm really happy with how they're looking so far. I also read that you're meant to take out around 4 packets worth and mix and match them when you're laying these. In case any tones are slightly different, you can then kind of make sure that's all even between the different packets. And then in terms of these lines, the cuts, I've asked for irregular, so not uniform cuts. So if it was uniform, it would be alternating, like a cut here and a cut there, and alternating and so on in a straight line. But I felt like that would almost make it more obvious that this room is wonky. So I think just mismatched cuts, no kind of exact pattern, was best for in here. And also he said it means less wastage, of course, because obviously if you're doing uniform cuts, you're going to get more wastage at the edges, I think. So yeah, happy with how it's going so far. It is now the weekend. I have another update for you. So there was about another half a day's work done on Friday. So let me show you how it's all looking. First of all, a bit of the reality. This is what the living room is looking like. The office door is over there waiting to be hung up. Hopefully you can see between all the boxes and the bits on the floor that the floor is now down, and I am very happy with the results. I love the colour, love the tones of the wood. I love how well he's fitted it. He's done such an incredible job. And yeah, you can see here, this is what I was talking about, the lines being slightly off at this side of the room. But I think when the hearth is back in and a rug in front of the fireplace, that's not going to be obvious at all. So I'm really pleased with how he's managed to keep all the lines on this side running straight the way through into the hallway and then through here into the office room, so that they're all nice and neat like that. The staggered joins, the staggered cuts, I think work really well. I feel like, yeah, you're not going to sit there of an evening and look at lines. I think it would be strange if they all lined up personally. So I'm really happy with that too. And yeah, this all needs to be taken away. And then coming through into the hallway, I've closed the door because Pumpkin loves to explore this room, and yeah, it's a little bit dangerous for him in there. So yeah, loving the flow that goes all the way through. And as you can see, the lines continue as we go through into the office room. And at the moment, lots of furniture and TV and stuff on the floor again. I did paint along here as well on this skirting board with some of the pigeon that I have on this it's an old room divider, but I'm using it as kind of some paneling. So what I'm going to do is actually continue this with a bit of wood, panel it all the way across, so this whole side is kind of panelled in this nice pigeon colour. So I wanted to do a kind of like, I think you call it colour washing, is it? Where you go all the way to the skirting board and make it all match. So I thought that would look nice. Pumpkin is loving it as a little backdrop, aren't you, Mr. Pumpkin? Where's Mittens? I think she's probably snoozing upstairs. And yeah, bed's up on its side, desk's over here. So yeah, really happy with it. Look how neat it all is. All these joins, all these little gaps around the sides are so that these boards can have space to expand if they do with changes in the humidity and the temperature. Really nice and tidy around the radiator. Everything needs a bit of a paint, and yeah, very happy with how it is looking. Oh, there he goes. So with the new flooring down, it was time to start work on the kitchen. As you may know, I had a leak from the roof garden which needed to be repaired. So the roof garden was repaired but wasn't done properly, so that had to be redone and re-looked at. So the next job was going to be preparing the kitchen for some new kitchen worktops, which I had in mind. And also I wanted to open up the space a little bit. So I thought by removing the top cupboards in the kitchen on the left-hand side, which there's kind of 3 in total. One houses spice jars and cooking oils, and then the other 2 are plates, glasses, really just kind of like crockery. So I felt like we could do without those cupboards. And then the middle one was food. You know, when I rest my camera in the kitchen on top of usually the oat sachets, like the cereal and stuff. So yeah, not loads is kept in those cupboards. So I feel like we can reconfigure things so that all of that stuff can go elsewhere and then open up that space on the left-hand side. I also thought if we're removing the top cupboards and replacing the worktops, it would be a good idea to remove the tiles, which I have painted over the years, and you know, they've done really well, but I felt like it was time for them to go. And with getting the new worktops, I like the idea of getting a matching splashback and a matching upstand to match the marble worktops that I had in mind. So the kitchen ceiling was in desperate need of repair. That leak had caused quite a big hole in the corner, and it had spread quite a lot as well. So a lot of the plasterboard needed to be removed, and when you remove things like plasterboard or when you strip back walls, that is when you find what is really going on underneath. And some of the beams had unfortunately rotted from this leak. It was kind of like a long, slow leak that happened over a long time and just got worse and worse and worse. So basically, beams needed to be replaced. It was a bigger job than anticipated, but has all been patched up really well. Also, in doing this, daylight was visible in other areas of the roof. So the roof repair that I had done wasn't the best repair. However, the chap that I've got working on the project was able to fix all that. So I'm confident now, having tested with a hose pipe and doing lots of leak tests, that it is now, touch wood, not going to be leaking anymore. So the new plasterboard went on, and that is now drying, and already you can really see the difference in the space. It has really opened it up. But yeah, lots has been happening. Let me take you on a quick tour of how everything's looking. Be warned, it is chaos. Well, I wanted to show you a nice after of the living room floor, all nice and clear. But the thing with a renovation like this, in particularly a London property, a terrace property, a flat, there's nowhere to put stuff while you're doing it. So deliveries have to come in and you have to kind of continue. So I don't have the empty room to show you. I do, however, have this corner to show you so you can get an idea. It is a little bit messy where I've just been doing some decorating. So to update you, in here, I actually ordered not enough of the edging, which I'd gone for the matching oak in the other room. So I actually decided in this room to go for a white edging. I'll be honest with you, because waiting for the delivery of the oak one would have taken longer, and this is available in the DIY shop. But then having thought about it, I thought in here, the white gives the illusion of a longer skirting board, which adds to kind of like the illusion of more height on the ceiling. So I thought it actually worked really nicely. So I just need to caulk all this in and then repaint the skirting boards and this edging so it all kind of becomes one. So that's actually worked out really well. I think I'm happy with that. I feel like if you have oak edging it will make your floor look bigger. I'll show you that in the hallway. And then if you have white edging, it will make your skirting boards look longer. So it depends on what kind of direction you're wanting to go. Another very spontaneous decision I made was in the DIY shop. I saw this one-off mix paint. Now, trade paints can be mixed to any colour. I'm sure you may have heard of this, where you can get your Leyland trade and have it mixed up to any colour. So whether it's a Farrow and Ball colour or any other paint brand, they can match it and mix it. And it is usually a lot cheaper than buying the premium stuff. This was a mix that had gone slightly wrong. So they were selling it as a one-off mix for the bargain price of £20 for this huge tub of vinyl matte, perfect for living rooms. You can wipe this, but it's not like super robust, so it's perfect for a living room or a bedroom. And this colour I really liked. It reminded me of a previous one that I've used called Antique Cream from Crown, and I got the Farrow and Ball chart out in the shop. Here it is here, and I took this over to the window. They've painted the lid so you can see what colour the paint is, and I matched it to the chart. I'm pretty sure that it is Dimity by Farrow and Ball, which is one of their warm neutrals, the exact kind of tone I was wanting in this room. This sort of thing, I was looking at white tie as well. So when I saw this and saw the price, I just thought this is worth a go. It is worth picking up and bringing this home to test it out. So that is what I did. I have tested it and I'm really happy with it. I am filming on the gloomiest of days, so it's very hard to show you the true colour, but yeah, I'm very pleased with how this is looking. I'm really happy with how it's contrasting with the white skirting boards and the mantle. So yeah, I'll show you the full room in better light when this is all done. A couple of other things that are sneaking into frame here. Let's start off with this thing. So I wanted to get something that kind of matched the existing shelves, but a good quality piece. Now this is solid wood. I really like the backing on this, kind of like these tongue and groove kind of panels, which painted up I think will look fab. We also have the really nice quality pins here and the brass holes so you can adjust the shelving. This is a quality piece. So for £50 and £10 delivery, I am so pleased that I found this because I was in a bit of a rush because work on the kitchen will be cracking on in the next couple of weeks. This I'm going to cut down and it's going to go underneath the existing, well, the new worktop, to create some additional shelving underneath. I have 3 shelves that fit in here, so I think the top part will be chopped off. I'm not sure whether I'll lower this bit and keep that ornate bit and just bring it down so it sits underneath the counter, or whether I'll just have it going up to the counter. I'm thinking probably just going up to the counter. I think that might be too fussy underneath the counter. And with this one that will be sitting above it being quite ornate, I feel like that's probably enough, and then just keep it simple underneath the counter. I'll paint it the same colour as this one. This has come up really nicely and this paint's nice and robust. So yeah, I think that's going to tie in really well. I do feel like I'm winging it slightly. Yeah, I was really hoping for some shelving like that. So I was so happy when I found those in the charity shop. I was thinking about maybe doing a couple of like IKEA small billies under there, but the quality of this, with that being solid wood, I think it's going to be so much better. And the fact that you can adjust the shelves, so that if I want to stack my tins down there or anything that's coming from those top cupboards, and I can adjust those shelves, I think that is just perfect for what I had in mind. And it will give that additional support for the new countertops when those go in. Let me show you those. So these arrived this morning. We have a countertop here, we have an upstand, which is kind of like the piece that goes, you know, along the edge of the counter. Oh, this is actually the splashback, sorry, and the counter is underneath. So I've got a splashback here. But basically, with the worktop, one of them arrived bent, like it was kind of curved. The chaps got it out of the van and it just was like really bent, and they said that when you lay it flat and when you kind of put the brackets underneath, it would straighten it out. But I just thought, I had a quick decision to make. Either it goes back with them or I'm having to rearrange a pickup and all the rest of it. So I just rejected it on the spot. Then they were straight on the phone to customer services. Customer services were straight on the phone to me within half an hour. And that has been rescheduled for new delivery in 2 days' time. If that would have happened for midday, they would be redelivering it tomorrow as well. The worktops I got from Worktop Express, and yeah, I've been so impressed with their customer service. They've been brilliant. They were phoning up to confirm all the delivery times. The driver rang me half an hour before delivery, and the one that I've gone for is a solid laminate. Let me just show you quickly. There we go, and this is the white marble solid laminate, so it's a nice narrow worktop, and yeah, completely solid laminate, so very excited to get that fitted. Okay, let's go and take a look at how the kitchen is looking now. See here in the hallway, I'm really struggling with the light today, but to make it look a bit wider, I think that the oak edging in the hallway does work, because this is very narrow. So yeah, let's go through to the kitchen. So here we go, this is how it is looking. So all the top cupboards are gone, the tiles are removed, and the hole is no more. So yeah, it's just the fresh plaster at the moment, and really happy with how it is all looking. I mean, it does obviously need to be painted. It needs to dry out, and then I'm gonna paint it. So you need to do various layers, don't you, on fresh plaster. I need to figure out all my quantities, because you go on with a watered down mix first. But yeah, as you can see, he's gone all the way across because the ceiling was in quite the state of disrepair. All the electric smoke alarms had to come out, and the light had to be removed. I got this light off Amazon. It's like a white daylight light, which is quite nice for the kitchen. It's great for vlogging because it gives me some daylight in here as well. So this side, under here, you may remember on previous makeover, I had like an old CD rack and some crates, and I just used it as storage. I hung a curtain in front. When the new worktops go in, this will remain. So this is my magnet kitchen that's just been painted. Very old, but still going strong. So the new worktop will go on top. I will extend this across. I'm gonna go a little bit further out here, and that is to make the charity shop unit fit a bit better so that it's completely flush with this wall here. So the open shelving, the charity shop shelving will go back up here, but then underneath, to support this section, rather than having the original metal pole and a bit of wood that I'd shoved underneath it when I did like the temporary makeover, we will have the wooden unit. And I was just looking at it and thinking maybe I keep that wooden unit the natural wood. I feel like we've got a lot of painted surfaces going on. We've got painted cupboards, we've got painted upper shelves, so maybe underneath some natural wood might work. So I might put it in natural, and then I've always got the option to paint it in the future. I'm thinking, because it doesn't go all the way across the shelving, I'm actually thinking of going right up to the edge here, and then that will leave me a little gap in here, which I think is quite a good little bin gap. Or I could just pop, you know, whatever in there. So yeah, in this corner I am thinking, once the new worktop is in and the upstand is going around, I might put some MDF tongue and groove all the way up to the ceiling, and then I might add some new shelves in here. I feel like the scaffold board, I feel like it's too many different styles, and I'm feeling like this is maybe a little bit too industrial now compared to the other pieces that I'm bringing in, so these may well go, but I reckon I can definitely make use of these elsewhere in the home. And then I do have a new sink arriving as well, so that is due for delivery tomorrow. And when I've got everything in, I'll give you a full kitchen tour and tell you where everything is from and link it all properly, so that if you are doing your kitchen and I found these tried and tested suppliers and I've had good customer service, I will be recommending them to you just to save you any hassle. It's always worth passing on the knowledge, isn't it? So yeah, new sink is on its way. To find a sink that I liked in this size was challenging, and I thought about maybe flipping it and having the draining board coming on this side, whether that could help a bit, but then you don't want to have a draining board too near to a hob, I don't think. So I think this is correct, and I managed to find one that will just go a little bit further here, so it'll maximise that space a tiny bit better. Anyway, I'll show you the sink that I've gone for in the next vlog when it has arrived. So yeah, I'm going to keep the handles and the cupboard doors all as they are. The oven is relatively new, so that is staying. The hob just needs to be checked. Yes, I'm going to get a gas engineer out to disconnect that and also to check it over before the new worktops are fitted, just to make sure that that's all still tickety-boo, because that is a very old gas hob, but it is still going strong, but I just want to make sure that that's all okay. The peel and stick tiles that I did from Home Bargains are still okay. Some of them have slipped slightly, and some of them have chipped a little bit here where the drawer from underneath the oven scraped them. I do have spares, however I'm going to go out and look at vinyl flooring, as in on a roll, and I feel like to redo the floor properly, you would need to relay a completely flat floor, which would involve ripping out all the cupboards, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to look at the vinyl on a roll. Similar to the laminate, I think it's really come on. And yeah, it has stood the test of time. That video is on my channel. So if you want to do peel and stick tiles in your kitchen, I do have that tutorial for you. And it's all about starting central and square and then working out. So rather than starting on the wonky line of the units, because nothing in my home has right angles, you may have noticed. Okay, I've just popped you on top of the fridge just to show you this part of the transformation, which is removing those top cupboards and how that has really opened up the space in here. I'm so pleased with that. I mean, with the plaster, it's still quite dark. I feel like once that is painted, we'll probably just go back to maybe like another warm neutral, or maybe just even white, I'm not sure yet. That's a decision that I can make once the marble worktops are in and see how everything's looking all together. But yeah, it's really opened it up in here. It just feels so much wider when you walk in, not having those top units here. And for what is quite a narrow kitchen, it's suddenly, actually when you stand in it, it felt like really long and narrow, but not really long, but it just felt quite narrow, very like galley style before. But now when you walk into it, it almost feels like a square, which, considering how narrow the kitchen is pretty incredible. So I'm really happy with this decision, and there's the potential to maybe add some open shelving. But I'm almost just tempted to keep this entire wall free of anything, but maybe put the shelving at the end by the window here. So there's this whole section here, which previously didn't look like a very big space. I don't know if you can see, let me just bring you around a touch more. So just next to the window, it's one of those spaces that when you have the cupboards here, you don't really notice, but now the cupboards have gone, there's actually quite a lot of width on there. And I was thinking some shelving going up here, with it being right next to the sink, I could maybe have just glassware on it and beakers for drinking with, so that they're ready to grab when you want to have a drink from the tap. So yeah, this side I think we'll be putting that shelf back in, the upcycled shelf from the charity shop. I'll have more storage underneath the counters, so all of my kind of tins, packets can go underneath, and I really like having them where I can see them, so that I'm not over bulk buying. But if I do bulk buy a little bit, I can almost have like a little pantry store down there. Then I've still got my closable cupboard doors for kind of anything that's a bit more unsightly and you just want to kind of hide away. They can all go underneath the units, and then I'll have more open shelving on the top left hand side over there, probably where the coffee machine will be going back. I'm also going to be having more counter space. So with the new kitchen counters, I will be extending those right the way across here. So this will go right the way to the wall, and having this section here, do you remember the shelves that were there before? They've gone now, but I'm going to use them elsewhere in the home. Yeah, this will go all the way across, and that will mean we've got microwave and we've got, air fryer if we want to, or we've got a space for coffee machine and kettle and toaster. So it's going to make a massive difference. It's not a huge amount of space, but actually, now that I've removed that narrow shelf, and that's going to be all the way across, then with open space underneath, which is always really handy and kind of hidden behind the door. So, I'm thinking if you want to pop the Hoover under there, or a bin or recycling bin, or any of those things you just want to shove out the way, that can go underneath there. So yeah, that's going to be really handy, and the additional worktop space I think is going to be really, really useful as well, particularly with the new appliances, things like the air fryer that we all have got so used to using now. Just stood here now looking at it from this direction as well. Now that the shelving that was here has gone, again, this all feels so much bigger. I'm not sure what to do with this. I was thinking about, with the countertop that will go all the way to the edge here, maybe introducing a tall shelf that goes right the way to the ceiling, and that could potentially be a slightly deep one, maybe with some glass doors on it, or it could just be some open shelving. I'm not quite sure yet. I can't go too shelf crazy in here, so I need to see how it looks once the thrifted one is reinstated, the shelving is built in here, and then it's kind of like looking at this side of the room and thinking what would balance it out once it's all decorated. So that can be kind of like further down the line. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it is looking. Sorry, the lighting is rather strange. Maybe I'll pop you here on the shelf. It's unrecognisable, isn't it? It really doesn't feel like my kitchen at the moment, but I will be putting loads of the stuff back in here that was here before, so it will go back to looking like my kitchen, but also a kind of upgraded version of it, which I'm really pleased with. So it will retain all of its character and all the things that I've done in here over the years. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up the vlog here, so stay tuned for the next little renovation update, which hopefully will be the worktops going in, decorating in here. Once this is dry, I will be decorating that, and hopefully soon then I'll be able to show you the living room once I've finished painting in there, and also once the floors are clear and stuff. So yeah, everything's just being moved around. It's kind of like a big jigsaw puzzle getting everything done. One of you was asking me about maintaining stress levels while something is going on like this, and also juggling work and that sort of thing. The first thing I'd want to say is that think about the space that you have and the space that your contractors are going to need to work in. Because if you're renovating a small kitchen like this, for example, this space might not be enough for them to work in. They might need to spill out into your hallway, they might need to spill out into another room, whether that's, you know, an office or living room, whatever space you have. If you have a garden, that's great, but many of us don't, or many of us have a small garden. So often with projects, it's not just the room that you're doing that is going to be taken over, so you kind of have to factor that in as well. I know some of you asked about like living within a renovation. If you watched my loft conversion series, you will have seen how challenging that was at the time, and this is challenging as well. The bedroom is full of stuff, the loft is full of stuff. The kittens are up in the loft for most of the time whilst the works are going on. They've been really good, but they do get to kind of towards the end of the day and they want to come and explore and roam around the rest of what is their world, their home. What they say goes. Being as organised as you possibly can be goes a long way. There's so many things that I'm doing at the moment, like keeping track of different deliveries and orders. If you've got a renovation project happening in the future, there's so much research that you can be doing now, whether that's looking into your countertops or the flooring, reading reviews, watching vlogs and seeing what other people put into their homes. The more you can do that up front and kind of make those decisions as to what you want to get, the better, and then save it all so that when it comes to actually buying these things, you're not rushing and having to make last minute decisions. Often there will be last minute decisions as well, and with those I would just say go with your gut, trust your instincts. Like the worktop today, if something arrives and you don't think it's right, send it back. Get on to customer services, ask for advice, ask your tradesman for advice. And I think it's just about accepting that while it's going on, it is chaos. So I've had a busy week, I've been off to doing things, I've been at events in the evenings and things like that. That's all right, I can brush myself off and get on with it. And similar with the food, obviously, you know, it's very difficult to cook. So it's just accepting that you need to kind of switch that up for the duration and make friends with your local takeaway, or meal deals from the Co-op or Tesco's have been my friend. And also I've been really enjoying the protein ready meals from Lidl that come in like the little plastic containers, like takeaway tubs, because they feel kind of healthy-ish in terms of ready meals, but quite nutritious as well and quite reasonably priced. And I've also been doing Too Good To Go as well, the app where you can get food that's kind of going to be going past its sell-by date that evening. For particularly the sushi was really good. I got some really nice sushi for £5, and there was loads of it, like about £15 worth for a fiver. So that was good. So I've been trying out lots of different foods. The other thing is just being around if you've got tradesmen in, just to answer any questions. I know that's not possible for everybody, but where you can be on site, I think it is incredibly beneficial to be on site, because there's so many little details and questions that they might have that are much easier to do if you're there. If you're not able to be at home, then you can use obviously video call and that sort of stuff. And yeah, get some good quality plastic tubs with lids. They're handy to have around the home anyway, you know, if you've got a loft or if you've got areas like under the bed for storing things in. They're really handy, so when I've unpacked areas of the kitchen, things can go into those tubs and I know exactly what's in each one. Also, you do find that you lose things a lot more easily when you're in the middle of a renovation, so that with, you know, stuff being everywhere in rooms that it's not normally in, things can go missing. So it's quite a good idea to kind of have an area in your home within the renovation where you kind of put important things like your keys and the tape measure, which always goes missing, and that kind of stuff. So maybe just dedicate one little surface, or, you know, a cardboard box or whatever it might be, where you know that kind of that's where the important stuff goes, so you can always find it. But if I think of any other tips for you know, living in a renovation and doing a renovation, then I will share those as I go along, and also share yours in the comments. If you're doing something similar at the moment, or if you've done one in the past, you've got any tips to share with everybody else, I'm sure we would all benefit from that. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up here because I want to get this one edited and uploaded for Sunday. So I hope you're having a lovely Sunday if you're watching this on Sunday, whatever you've been up to this weekend. And stay tuned for the next update on this, and I'll also have some other kind of more regular videos for you on the way too. So do subscribe if you're not already for the brand new videos every single week. Give this one a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more renovations and then room makeovers to come after that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.